She's innocent. I sat in my office at the sober house and felt dog-tired at the end of my shift. I hadn't turned the light on after dark in my apartment and sat in my nice yellow shirt. My sculptor friend texted me, and I replied, "Hey, dude, I've been writing a lot this year, working on a project to share next year that will be something I can only do once, a collection of articles about daily life. I feel good about it and see it as a project for the community, but I need to not have expectations about how it will be received and appreciate it for a new turn in my body of work. Also, I've been making collages. How about you?" I was considering success, but in terms of getting notoriety, while people I cannot control live their lives without me and feeling like I already knew what success was and like this was all written and submitted. The feeling was a bizarre strain of envy that was stealing from my life experience as I sat there dehydrated, having drank 4 cups of coffee but only 1 of water. I had left the sober house a few minutes early because my feet were carrying me onto the grass under the night sky, and as I walked down the hill, I saw 2 residents wandering across the opposite sidewalk in the dark and out of sight. I stood leaning against the pole. I realized if I was going to be killed there, I'd be able to save us both by remaining calm and telling the murderer this was not a good idea. A young girl rode her bicycle beside me and asked, "Do you see any buses coming? I only seen buses going the opposite way." "Humph, I don't see any now," I said. She remained there waiting. I had to wonder if she were peddling drugs or baiting me into being jumped or accused of something unsavory, and at the same time I made sure I was looking out for her safety. I asked, "Are you going to take your bike on the bus?" "There's a rack where you can put the bike," she said. "I might just continue riding." She waited there, the future, probably 14. I didn't mean to accuse her of that stuff. I just wanted to make sure I could be ready for any situation and make sure I could prevent harm. Before she arrived, I had been thinking again that there's no use of being enlightened unless you can help other people feel less harm and not be a burden in situations where it can be helped. The little one rode her bike down the sidewalk in the dark. I stayed waiting as numerous cars drove down Main Street. Then the bus came. There were only a couple people on it. I got off at City Hall just as the girl on the bike was passing by the building on her bike. The bike angel, who taught me a lesson, rode off. I thought of the Virgin Mary. An old woman in a blue hoodie and a man using a walker stood by Duncan's. I walked to deposit my check at the bank. It was around that time that I got some clarity that helped me to feel good about myself. I smiled at the man using the walker as he waited by Duncan's. Shadow people were still congregating in the common. I had a chipper conversation with a young lady on the elevator. Then, in my apartment, I texted my sculptor friend again. "I'm just having a thought after a bit of the blues that to not think for others, to just be myself as one man is enriching and may help alleviate that sensation of how to make a satisfactory impact. I must mindfully stay in my own shoes to enjoy most, perhaps." I sent him 3 writings from last month to read. Then I played with yarn with my cat on the rug. I listened to my better judgment about not going out to find chocolate, though I could go for some chocolate. I might eat rice and broccoli. I might not eat. Anyhow, the real inspiration is that after I emailed, I went to meditate on my couch and realized first there was 1, then 3, then more than 3 people standing in a parking lot on the side of Myrtle Street in a lighted area against the wall. Sometimes I dream that everyone knows I'm a writer writing something important. They had a shopping carriage and possibly an umbrella. They used a lighter to make a flame. I was thinking of what the best thing to do for the most amount of people would be. I meditated on the present for a bit. Then I came to my computer and wrote more. Our feet pressed from side to side. The children will grow up on this land. How we seed it, how we treat it, and what we think is possible changes this world. I am one man with a heart. When you are alive as a person, you are both insignificant and crucial to existence, for you are one manifestation of the infinite, and with a solid form in what Hindus call the Brahma, you are one. How do I live best? By learning how to experience myself and learning how to help others see. What do they do out there in the light by the wall as they gather? Street activity. It's inspiring. It's life. It's human. It's art. I stand by the notion that if more action were conscious and seen as art, there'd be less of a need for crime. Do I go get chocolate? Wouldn't that be adding to need when I already have food in my cabinets? A smack in the face to taking this social change seriously? There's an event at the baseball field. I hear the announcer. There are fireworks exploding over the buildings on Main Street.